Our story kicks off under a romantic full moon, perfect for long walks, dramatic introspection, and, naturally, murder. Our MC, dressed in the standard issue assassin starter pack, lurks in the shadows outside a temple. A sentry stands around doing his best impression of a background NPC, when one hands appear out of nowhere. His neck gets twisted like a pretzel at a yoga retreat. Surprise! It's the protagonist. He mutters something edgy like, "I'll finish this before something happens," which absolutely guarantees that something is about to happen. Inside the temple, an old man with glowing red eyes and main villain vibes wakes up because apparently neck snapping is louder than you'd think. Our MC is already inside, holding one of the old guy's goons like a trash bag, and roasts him with, "Wow, meditating while your men die? You're still heartless, huh?" The old man, gathering anime boss-level energy, replies with, "Do you think a man climbing a mountain cares about the insects beneath his feet? Sir, please, chill." Then it's time for our first big shounen clash. The MC goes full Lightning McFist with his heavenly lightning fist. The old man counters with a sword key attack that slashes our hero's face and, tragically, doesn't improve it. The old man sneers, "I'll send you to your daddy." Rude. The MC powers up anime style and evolves his move to the heavenly divine palm. It breaks through the sword key like a plot twist. He socks the geezer straight into the wall. "Don't talk about my daddy with your bad breath," he spits, just as sand breath mint served. The old man, coughing up regrets and blood, laments not wiping out the Cloud Dragon sect earlier, classic villain mistake. Then plot twist, he whips out what looks suspiciously like Gara's gourd and chugs it like a frat bro at a desert rave. Boom! Purple energy. Roaring, screaming. Goku hair energy levels. The MC can barely react before Zoom-he gets his head cut off. Or not. Some random guy yells barrier. A green shield appears just in time. Who is this hero? A great mage from another world who's late because he's lazy. Respect. Just as things get super serious, the scene zooms out and surprise. The whole intense Miram fight was just a chapter from a manhwa. The real MC, Jin Seowon, was reading. Turns out, Jin isn't some lightning-fisted Avenger. He's a 23-year-old recent military discharge, trying to go back to college and not deal with immortal martial artists. When his friend asks him to play games, he gives in, because nothing says responsible adulthood like spending your last bit of money on a 10-hour gaming bender at a PC Bang. Inside the game Loyal Ground, basically a pub with better aim, Jin pops off like a digital John Wick, eliminating noobs left and right. His friend's dead, his enemies are looting meds, and he's out here winning chicken dinners like it's Thanksgiving. Afterwards, his mom texts to check on him more, and guilt hits harder than a divine palm strike. He vows to take a break from gaming, and immediately lies down to doom scroll. While browsing articles about people with superpowers showing up abroad, humans now calling themselves players, this site crashes. Suspicious, but Jin, being the king of not my problem, just goes to sleep. Morning arrives. Jin is dressed for school, ready to face his day until bam, purple light. He disappears instantly, his bag's still there, but he's gone like a free trial. Strange code fills the air. That definitely wasn't Python, and suddenly, he's standing in a mysterious new place, surrounded by other equally confused isekai victims. A huge statue looms ahead, and that's how we go from Muram drama to battle royale to surprise teleportation with the grace of a genre blender on high speed. Jin Seowon opens his eyes, confused, disoriented, and slightly salty. He thinks maybe this is cosmic punishment for daring to commit to studying a dangerous and rebellious act in any fantasy setting. As his vision clears, he finds himself surrounded by noise, chaos, and what he believes to be a bunch of hardcore cosplayers. There's sword fighting, magic flying, and enough budget effects to make a Marvel movie jealous. Somewhere, a guy in armor is fighting a dude with glowing hands, and Jin's main reaction is, "What convention is this, and why wasn't I invited?" Before anyone can answer, the giant statue nearby suddenly Bluetooth pairs with their brains and starts blasting a voice message directly into everyone's head. No consent, no update logs, just pure telepathic spam. Then the statue opens its eyes, definitely not creepy, and a blinding light integrates everyone into the system. Translation: automatic language sync. Now the elves, demons, martial artists, and some guy who probably thought he was logging into League of Legends can all argue in perfect clarity. Naturally, the MC does what any nosy human would do. He hones in on the nearest argument like a true chismoso. An elf, all glowy and angry, accuses some dude named Kyron of dragging them into this mess. Kyron, of course, denies everything like a teenager caught sneaking out. The elf summons lightning and angrily declares he'll not only kill Kyron, but also the Demon King, and possibly whoever made the system UI this confusing. He blasts the demon with lightning, but the demon just tanks it like a Monday morning. The elf, putting two and together and getting 5, concludes, "Yup, definitely your fault." Back to Jin. He finally accepts this is not a dream. Mostly because dreams don't come with intrusive pop-up notifications. System message: beginning the game. Difficulty: easy. Objective: reach the top 90. Map: King Kingdom capital. The map will shrink every 100 years until one player remains. Eliminated players return to their original world or, die. Jin processes this with the solemn reflection of someone realizing they've been isekai'd into their own video game. Except there's no respawn timer and no snacks. He looks around. Everyone's got muscles, weapons, and terrifying auras. Then, a random warrior decides he's the tough guy on campus and picks a fight. "Hey, what are you looking at? And where you from?" Jin just grins like someone who knows he's not strong, but also knows how to get under people's skin. The warrior gets visibly uncomfortable. Jin flicks him a sarcastic good luck finger just in time for the system to count down. 3, 2, 1, and boom! They're all falling through the sky like a magical battle royale. Because apparently parachutes are too mainstream. While everyone dives toward the most loot-heavy area like sweaty gamers in a hot drop, Jin decides to do the one smart thing. Go to the edge of the map and avoid getting clapped in the first 5 minutes. He spots a small house and drops in. Inside, he rushes to loot before realizing he's alone. Classic paranoia. Still, it pays off. He finds a crossbow, tries to shoot it, and promptly nearly dislocates his shoulder, because power recoil is a thing. Next up, a healing scroll, always good to have in case you get stabbed or dramatically betrayed by a future party member. Then, a glowing book catches his eye. Never a good sign. But Jin touches it anyway, because curiosity greater than survival instincts. It's labeled Black Star Leader's Martial Arts Manual. Before he can even question the price of this DLC, the book explodes into light and injects itself into his body. No warning, no install progress bar, just full upload. Jin suddenly learns martial arts. Not folk martial arts, sorry, Gordon Ramsay fans, but the real, punch-you-in-the-face kind. And thus, Jin Seowon, gamer, army dropout, and reluctant student, takes his first step into a fantasy battle royale world that's part pub, part Murem, and 100% chaos. Our MC, Jin Seowon, now armed with exactly one crossbow, a glowing book inside his body, and the situational awareness of a raccoon in a kitchen, pulls out the fork he previously threw. He looks at it solemnly and says, "Nice." Like it's a fine katana passed down through generations instead of stolen cutlery. As night sets in, Jin decides to do what all smart battle royale survivors do: hide and pray. While scavenging, he spots a house with a light still on, which is either a warm beacon of hope or the start of a horror movie. Being a curious and reckless protagonist, Jin creeps inside. Upstairs, he finds just a lantern. Suspicious, spooky, completely on brand. Then he sees a closed room and, of course, kicks the door open like he's got plot armor. Bam! Room's empty. Just air and awkward silence. After some ransacking respectfully, of course, he finds a ring that grants plus 20 strength. He puts it on and instantly feels lighter, stronger, like a gym rat on pre-workout and delusion. He opens his status window, because nothing says I'm in an isekai now like personal stat sheets. Then downstairs, he finds a subspace ring, which lets him store items in hammerspace, RPG style. He slides it on with a sigh, always with the rings. Ding! A system pop-up appears with ring usage instructions, because even in fantasy worlds, no one reads the terms and conditions. He stores the healing scroll and checks the kill log. Only one player eliminated so far. Slow start. Big stakes. Jin debates whether to stay in the house for the night or make a move. He knows he's not strong enough to fight the players he saw in the lobby. Buff dudes, glowing ladies, probably an angry panda somewhere, so he thinks maybe he should just hide his way into the top 10. Honestly, peak gamer strategy. He decides to check one more place before sunrise, which is how every bad decision starts. He makes his way into a forest. Admiring his strength ring, he feels light, energized, ripped. Then he realizes he's also starving. Buff, but broke. That's when his danger sense tingles. A presence. He hides behind a tree, channeling his inner Solid Snake, but bam! A werewolf appears in front of him. like a discount Twilight reject. The werewolf lunges. Jin dodges like a pro. But now a whole squad of wolves surrounds him. He internally screams, "I thought this was a PvP game. Why are there mobs? This wasn't in the patch notes." He bolts, finds another nearby house. Battle Royale maps are basically furnished errands, and peeks out the window like a terrified fantasy raccoon. Wolves are sniffing around, clearly trying to find the guy who owes them rent. Jin loads up his crossbow, aims through the window. Bam! Takes one wolf down. Reloading. Slowly. Crash! The werewolf bursts through the wall like Kool-Aid Man's evil cousin and slashes his face. Jin reels back. The wolf attacks again. He shoots blocked. The werewolf just catches the arrow with its hand like it read the Matrix once. Jin, bleeding, cornered, face to fangs with what is essentially a furry Terminator, mutters, "Is this it? Is this how I get eliminated? Not by a boss, not by a pro player, but a mob." No, Jin Se-won isn't going out like that. In a last-second Hail Mary, he rips open his subspace, grabs a dagger, and yeets it with anim desperation. The blade hits the werewolf square in the chest, critical hit. Instant Gaju hole. The werewolf stumbles back, surprised. Jin stares it down, panting, adrenaline surging. I refuse to be eliminated by a glorified NPC. The werewolf disintegrates, Thanos style, and Jin Se-won finally takes a moment to breathe. Covered in dirt, sweat, and probably emotional trauma, he drops to the floor only to notice something shiny, a loot bag. His first monster drop. He checks the contents and immediately goes meh. It's just jerky. He grumbles about how he could have just hunted for food instead. Like he didn't almost become Wolf Chow 5 minutes ago. Still, he munches on the jerky while noticing something much more useful, a bulletproof vest. Not only does it auto-adjust to his body like a magical Uniqlo product, but it also gives him resistance to fire and wind magic. Suddenly, that jerky doesn't taste so bad anymore. Then, on top of a shelf, he steps on what looks like a forgotten laundry item, a night cloak. Cue the Harry Potter music. He puts it on and discovers it's basically stealth mode. It muffles his presence, makes him nearly undetectable, and just might be the most opus hoodie in the forest. While strolling through the woods feeling like a budget ranger, he wonders why he hasn't run into more players. And then bam, plot. A player appears, running for dear life, clearly beat up and looking like a background character in a zombie movie. Jin hides and readies his bow. He's about to channel his inner Legolas, but hesitates until a voice suddenly screams, "Escrow's flame." A blast of fire torches the poor guy, who disintegrates immediately and leaves behind a loot chest like the world's most violent pipotter. The attacker, Image, reeking of arrogance and third-degree main character syndrome. How dare he steal from me? He runs while approaching the loot, unaware Jin is standing just feet away, completely hidden thanks to Cloak of Sneaky Gamer +10. Jin, not one to waste a golden opportunity, fires an arrow. Twang! It hits, but the mage's ice shield activates just in time. Jin, now exposed, dives behind cover, while the Mudge panic blasts fireballs in every direction like a magical sprinkler system. Arrow number 2 boom. The ice shield shatters. The Mudge, now 50% angrier and 100% more desperate, starts charging a spell. Jin reloads. Arrow number 3 headshot. The Mudge barely reacts before Jin finishes it with a dagger to the face. Delivering his signature move, the "you weren't important enough to have dialogue" combo. The Mudge disintegrates too. Another chest, more loot. Among the whole, a magic core that lets Jin learn spells. Like any proper gamer, he grabs everything, crams it into his subspace inventory like a fantasy hoarder, and looks for a quiet place to study magic like a wizard with Wi-Fi. 3 grueling hours later spent fusing the item. Into his literal hut, Jin emerges slightly unhinged. Learning magic, it turns out, feels like being disassembled and put back together with IKEA instructions. He curses the system for not including a pain warning, but it was worth it. He checks his status window. Now has TWO jobs. Unlocked Mona. Officially part wizard. He finally checks the player count. Only 45 survivors left out of the original 100. That escalated fast. On the kill leaderboard, one name stands out. Nam Sagwang. Cut 2 hours earlier. We see Nam Sagwang, a merry maniac with the energy of a bloodthirsty gym coach. He's chasing a terrified player and licking his lips like a villain who definitely didn't get enough hugs growing up. The poor guy trips classic and lands next to the warrior from Chapter 2. Remember him? "Mister, what you looking at?" The warrior begs for mercy, but Nam Sagwang doesn't do mercy. He responds by slamming his head into reality. Brutal. Overkill. Effective. Nam Sagwang doesn't even bother looting. No chest, no gear, just vibes and violence. It's day 3 in the Hunger Games from Hell, and Jin Seowon is still alive, which already makes him a top-tier protagonist. He's mostly praying to every deity available that he never runs into Nam Sagwang, aka Mirim Kratos, who eliminated 50 for players in one night. Because nothing says balanced gameplay like a guy speedrunning murder. Still, our MC's being optimistic. Maybe if he just casually survives to the top 10, he'll get some kind of reward. But before he gets delusional, he slaps himself back to reality and checks out his new magical abilities. He pulls out his Wind Bowl spellbook, absorbs it like it's a cursed NFT, and summons tiny pathetic breeze orbs. At first, he's disappointed until he fires one and accidentally destroys half a house. Classic newbie image moment. Underpowered aesthetic, overpowered AoE. Unfortunately, casting spells makes him feel like he pulled an all-nighter while running a marathon. Meanwhile, the safe zone is shrinking. Like a bad diet plan, Jin realizes, gotta farm faster. He treks onward, blissfully unaware that a mysterious old Mirim man is tailing him like a silent, philosophical stalker. Later, our looter-hungry MC stumbles across a bunch of already opened chests. He senses movement inside a house, panic blasts it with Wind Ball, and busts open the door only to find an injured dude who's just trying to vibe. Jin debates finishing him off, but his last few brain cells remind him this isn't that kind of game yet, so he leaves. The injured guy sighs in relief, mutters he could have totally won if he wasn't hurt, sure, buddy. Then proceeds to violate the number 1 PUBG rule. Don't loot while sitting. Wiggle. Man. Wiggle. BAM. Headshot. Jin snipes him, thanks the guy for being a noob, and loots the loot. But wait, plot twist. Grandpa Miriam finally shows up and compliments Jin's skills. Jin immediately regrets lowering his guard. But instead of punching him into the moon, the old guy just wants to talk. Jin, who are you? Old man, doesn't matter, bruh. Jin, you know what? Valid. The old guy, let's call him Master Grandpa, asks if Jin's done this before, because he's adapting like a gaming savant. Jin says no, but he has played a similar game back in his world. Cue existential curiosity. Master Grandpa is now hooked on this whole video game idea. Jin tries explaining that in his world, dying doesn't happen and murder is mostly pixel-based fun. Grandpa shook. As night falls, the old man asks about the moon, real poetic, and then they leap through the trees like anim. Squirrels. Jin's just clinging to life and branches, wondering how long this dude's been watching him. Grandpa, since you landed. Jin, can you not read my mind? They sit on a tree branch and swap life stories like it's a campfire chat. Jin explains how this game might seem horrific, but for some people, the power and rewards could change their lives. Meanwhile, he sees himself as a useless bastard with nothing to offer. Grandpa laughs like a sitcom character, but Jin shushes him because emotional trauma deserves silence. Eventually, morning comes. They jump down from the trees. Grandpa apologizes for the therapy session, and Jin hits him with a polite, "So, wanna teach me martial arts?" Grandpa, not missing a beat, replies, "Sure. But are you ready to die?" Well, that escalated quickly. Jin, but like, don't old people not die here? Grandpa Jang, visible confusion. Despite the low-key disrespect, the old man decides to go along with it. He checks Jin's inner energy and goes, "My God, you've got less Kai than my house dog." To which Jin replies, "Bro, I'm from Earth. We don't do Kai. We do taxes and anxiety." So the old man, whose name we later learn is Jang Dochin, coolest grandpa name ever, tells him to sit down, lotus style, then places his hands on Jin's head and goes, "This is gonna suck. Don't die." Cue screaming. Cue spirit energy oozing from every orifice. Cue Avatar, the last seer wound. It's a painful, out-of-body roller coaster that ends with Jin puking something that may or may not have been his. Dignity. Grandpa Dochin, watching casually, says, "Not bad. You might not die a virgin after all." Turns out, Jin does have a natural talent for this. His body's now changed stronger, faster, more Kai-compatible, and the technique he's been given is no ordinary bedtime yoga pose. It's forbidden, yo. Jang Dochin explains that the technique, called white martial physique arts, allows Jin to absorb life chi from the recently deceased. So basically, the more people die around you, the stronger you get. Jin, that's dark. Dochin, it's also efficient. Dorchin casually mentions that he feels pockets of life chi around places where people have died, suggesting this world is a giant energy buffet for morally flexible players. As he's about to dip, Jin stops him and asks, "What's your name, old man?" Jang Dorchin, the deep valley, standing kindly. Poetic. 10/10's name drop. He leaves like a man walking away from an explosion in slow motion. No look back, just vibes. Back to Jin. He heads to the outer edge of the map to avoid conflict and maybe grind up like a responsible gamer. He finds another glowing house, hopes it's a safe spot, but it's just more loot goblin paradise. He scores more items, throws on his Harry Potter stealth cloak, and naps like a fantasy sniper. Morning comes. Jin wakes up with danger tingles someone's approaching. Without hesitating, he draws his bow, fires at the door but the intruder blocks it. This guy's no pushover. Jin switches to close quarters mode, draws his daggers, and lands a hit. The two clash until Jin, now leveled up and freshly trained by Master Grandad, pins the guy down. The enemy begs for mercy. Jin, dead inside Gnaw. BAM, headshot. Our MC stands there, staring at the air like he forgot how blinking works. Suddenly, oh look, the enemy is gone, and a suspiciously glowing green chest is just sitting there like a Halloween candy bowl. Naturally, MC reaches in, and the vitality zooms into his body like a juiced-up energy drink. Then bam, a blinding flash. The enemy's overflowing flower gets absorbed too. Apparently it's magical or something, because now MC feels different. He checks his status and grins. Who wouldn't be overjoyed after eating a sentient flower? But then, the kill log. Plot twist, only 20 for players left out of 100. Another one just got deleted by the human blender known as Nam Sogwang. Cut to Nam casually swatting players like flies. He's disappointed the latest one was weak. Imagine a mosquito flying at a nuke. Yeah, like that. Nam checks the kill log. Our MC's name rings a bell. UHO. Meanwhile, MC wisely decides, let's not meet Nam today. He loots more and scampers out like a squirrel dodging a lawnmower. Fast forward a week. Mob hunting, monster jerky yum, and poking the restricted zone. His hands go numb. He concludes, yeah, I'm not going out there. Dust clouds rise, cue scene switch. Nam is surrounded by players. He's thrilled. Thanks for saving me the trip. He grins, prepping for chaos. Nam goes full one-man wrecking ball. The kill log explodes. MC starts sweating bullets. 9 kills at once. Is this guy a lunatic or just speedrunning murder? Nam walks off, annoyed by blood and incompetence, picking up a wizard's staff like it's nothing. Elsewhere, an elf gasps dramatically. The staff belonged to Elizabeth. Vengeance time. Night falls. MC finds a mansion and plays stealthy loot goblin. He reaches for armor, rejected for being underleveled. Even gear has standards. But he finds an elixir and a martial arts manual. Jackpot. Boom! Explosion. MC barely dodges and yeets into a bush. Nam and the elf are duking it out Annam style. MC peeks out. The elf delivers a noble speech. Nam replies, "Can you stop talking?" Plot twist. Nam, the terrifying murder machine, is just a kid. MC is shook. Fight time. Elf channels lightning like Thor on espresso and hurls it at Nam. Nam casually matrix dodges. Elf is not amused. Nam admits the elf's magic is terrifying, but not enough to stop him from being the dodge king. Elf upgrades to lightning storm. Multiple bolts fly at Nam like magic homing missiles. Nam grits his probably level 30 teeth and dodges like he's in a Dragon Ball remake. He lunges to counterattack, or wait, it's just an illusion. Elf is confused. MC, still hiding in the bush, softly whispers wow like an amazed squirrel. The battle intensifies. Elf delivers another vow of vengeance. Shakespeare would be proud. He finally lands a real hit. Nam takes serious damage and bails. Classic villain move injured, but promising a rematch. Elf floats back to the ground, scans for Nam, and vanishes. MC climbs out of the bushes and finds the underground room again. It's just a food pantry. No treasure, just shelf-stable disappointment. Still, MC's thrilled to eat anything other than the world's driest jerky. Dinner finished, he checks the martial arts manual. It stinks, but hey, better than nothing. Then he drinks the elixir. Instantly, his lower abdomen fills with mana. But oh no side effects. He's down bad for 3 hours, totally immobilized. Probably regretting drinking a random glowing potion from a cursed mansion. 3 hours later, he can finally move. He mutters never again and posses out like a tired gamer. Morning after, not Nam again. A new day. MC's ready to loot. Then he checks the kill log and finds out an old man eliminated himself. MC. Ha. Welp. But before he can get moving fireball. Out of nowhere. MC barely dodges. Turns around. It's the elf. Asterisk, of course. Asterisk. The elf thinks MC is Nam. Why? Item detection said beep. MC is sweating, flailing, explaining he's not Nam. Meanwhile, the real Nam is nearby, groaning and leaning on a tree like he stubbed his toe on a boss. To be continued.